is so cool.
Sure. Come on, Jan. Stand behind me. Come on. In front of me. Stand in front of me.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Good morning, everyone. And it's great to have such a good crowd here this morning as we gather to make a special announcement. First of all, I want to thank the band from the high school, from Eldon High School. You guys were awesome. Thanks for being here. I think most of you got a copy of the program, so that's what we'll stick pretty close to that program, but with me, you never know. I'm Mike Sutherland. I'm Deputy Director of the Department of Natural Resources, and really happy to be here with you this morning. Before we get to the regular program, I do want to make a few introductions, and there are so many folks here that have been so important to this day that I will definitely miss some of the folks that I should introduce, but I do want to introduce a few of the folks here. Missouri State Representative Willard Haley is here. If you just kind of give away. State Representative Don Mayhew is here. State Representative Rudy Beat. We saw him. State Representative David Griffith is here. Representative Bruce Sassman is here. And I believe State Senator Mike Bernsketter is here as well. I think I saw him. So thank all of you for being here, and I'm sorry if I missed anyone else from the General Assembly who's here and I didn't have a chance to meet, but we certainly appreciate all of you being here and your support of this day. Also, I'd like to introduce Carrie Stewart, who is from Congressman Blaine Luchtemeyer's office. She's here. Carrie. And also Grace Townsend from Congressman Vicky Hartzler's office. So thank you so much for being here. I'd also like to introduce our host for today, Mayor Trevor Vernon, the Mayor of Eldon, and City Administrator Don Smith are here. And then also, as part of the hosting, Superintendent Matt Davis, who made a lot of the arrangements this day. All right. Well, thank you so much for all the dignitaries who are here. There are also you'll have a chance to meet some of the other folks, and so many people here have helped on all of the things that we've done here, and a few of them that you will hear from. One that I want to introduce for sure is Mark McHenry. He's the chairman of our Parks Foundation fundraising committee, who has been doing a lot of the work with many others on the fundraising campaign to raise funds for the Rock Island, and we're here for a lot of his efforts and the other campaign committee members here. So there's Mark, and then thank you to all the other campaign committee members who are here and foundation members. Okay. I'm sure that as we conclude after today's festivities, folks will be available, and we will get to kind of mingle and get to know each other even better. So thank you so much. Now I'd like to kind of get to the part of the actual program where I start talking from my notes. They always make me notes, and then it's hard telling if I really talk about them. But I just I think many of us were here 2 years ago, and I can't tell you how many people have said, well, the weather's a little different today. 2 years ago when we first signed the agreement, of course, that had some contingencies with that, and that we've been working on for the past 2 years. It was about 20 degrees and windy, and really had to brave it. So we really thank the weather here. So today we're going to kind of work towards taking another step closer to the development of the Rock Island Trail, and I know that that's all of you are here to see that. It's very much a very much awaited morning. Some of us have been working on this for a few years, some of us a couple decades, and so appreciate all of you that are being here. As we go, and one thing I did want to also mention is that at the conclusion of our ceremony, there's also across the road, you'll notice the depot, the Eldon Depot, and they have that open as well, and so we can tour that. Kind of a first step and first look at kind of development that happens because of the trail. So thank you all very much. The first person I'd like to introduce to you is someone that I know well, has been working on this project for a long time and probably knows more about rail to trail projects than anybody else in Missouri State Parks or the Department of Natural Resources. I'll introduce Missouri State Park Director David Kelly.
Thank you, Mike. It's a really exciting day for Missouri State Parks. As Mike mentioned, we've been working on the Rock Island and making it part of the state park system for a very, very long time. As Mike mentioned, it was really cold 2 years ago, and about 5 years ago we opened the Rock Island Spur in Pleasant Hill, and many of you were there. It was 22 and snowing, so this is a really pleasant day to be out to celebrate this day with you today. We're very pleased to be able to accept the Rock Island Corridor as part of the Missouri State Park system. As Mike mentioned, we wouldn't be at this point without a lot of support, partners, and we got a lot of work cut out for us today in the coming months and years. You'll see a lot of people here in black, like me, state park staff, that have been working on the Katy Trail some more than 30 years. We got a lot of experience with rail trail, and we're really excited to add this portion to the state park system. As director of Missouri State Parks, my career is really coming full circle with the acceptance of this corridor. I was fortunate to be with Missouri State Parks more than 30 years ago when we accepted the Katy Trail into the state park system. I saw the many economic and health benefits to people living in communities along the trail. And I would be remiss if I didn't mention Ted and Pat Jones today, because we would not be here without their vision and their contribution to make the Katy Trail a reality, and their vision for a cross-state trail network that communities could hook up to, and that's an expansion of that vision today. So let's give Ted and Pat a round of applause. And one other person I wanted to mention today was Darwin Hyman. We rededicated Hyman Junction at the junction of the MKT Trail and Katy Trail last month, and was actually Hyman asked me to come speak at that event. I've worked with Darwin many years, and so I wanted to recognize Darwin and thank Axie Hyman for joining us today also. As I mentioned, the department owns and operates the Rock Island Spur of the Katy Trail, a 47-mile multi-use trail located on the Rock Island Trail corridor from Windsor to Pleasant Hill. The development of this 144-mile section of the Rock Island Corridor will expand it from Windsor to Beaufort and expand the opportunity to visitors to participate in family-friendly outdoor recreation and benefit many rural communities, including Versailles here in Eldon, Eugene, Meta, Argyle, Freeburg, Bell, Bland, Owensville, Rosebud, Gerald, Leslie, and Beaufort. The proposed trail will stretch approximately 144 miles and will serve as a southern complement to the existing Katy Trail, which is the longest developed rail trail in the country. So we're excited about the Katys and the Highway, and this is a great addition to that rail system in state parks. And obviously, last year we saw really record attendance on the Katy as people discovered it and came from all over the world really to experience this great rail trail system, and we're really excited to add to it with the Rock Island Corridor. So thank you for coming today. We appreciate your support.
Thank you, David. And as you talk about the trail and we think about, and I see those bikes there, you think about recreation and those kinds of things, but the trail is much more than that. It's economic development. It's bringing people to Missouri. And we're lucky today to have Maggie Kost, the Missouri Department of Economic Development Acting Director, with us today to speak to you all and talk to you a little bit about the impacts on Missouri from her point of view.
Thank you, Mike, and thanks to Director Bunton and Governor Parson for the opportunity to celebrate with you all today. As Mike said, my name is Maggie Kost. I'm the Acting Director for the Missouri Department of Economic Development. I truly believe that we are in a watershed moment for our state and for our country right now. Never before have we had access to the unprecedented level of resources that we do today. And as leaders, that means that we have a critical opportunity to redefine the future of our state and our economy. In this moment, it's also important as leaders to step back and to appreciate all that we are blessed with, the things that make our state a great place to live, to work, and to do business. Missouri is blessed to have a robust tourism industry that is fueled in part by outdoor recreation and our many natural assets. The Katy Trail has been an important part of that legacy, and you'll hear from the governor here shortly about the impressive number of visitors and spending that the trail brings in, supporting businesses and jobs across our state. I look forward to the day that the same can be said for the Rock Island Trail. That's why we're excited to partner with others on this project to bring that vision for the Rock Island Trail to life. The Department of Economic Development recently received a grant from the Federal Economic Development Administration, and today I am very excited to announce that we plan to commit $2.7 million of that grant to the Rock Island Trail development. Because this is a moment where we can accomplish big, meaningful things. It's a moment to appreciate and preserve the blessings that we are given and build upon our state's legacy. I want to thank you all again for the opportunity to join in today's celebration, and I wish you all and your families a wonderful holiday season. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Maggie, and thank you for that exciting news. It's and during the holiday season, kind of seems appropriate. So, and as we embarked on this and talking about the agreement and embarking on that, one of the things that we've always said is that we would take a lot of partners, not only partners like the Department of Economic Development, but philanthropic partners, community partners, all of those partners. And one of our greatest partners and really that has been the heart and soul of the fundraising efforts is our next speaker. John Riddick is the president of the Missouri State Parks Foundation, which we have worked with and many of you have worked with on the fundraising efforts that have also had a very much an impact on leading to this day. So John?
Well, yeah, 2 years ago I shared a very short speech because it was really cold. This is going to be short, but not because it's cold. So before I get started, I want to recognize a couple of people on our campaign cabinet. Mike already mentioned Mark McHenry, but we also have Eric Rogers and Axel Heineman and Deb Schnock and Ron Bench. Did I miss anybody else? So would you guys mind just coming up here just for a second so everybody can see you? Come on, Deb. You can make your way over there. And Axel, stand up just a second. I want everybody to see these people so you recognize them when they ask you for money. Okay, they're not out to steal from you. They're just trying to put some money to this project. So, you know, a couple years ago, was kind of to use a train analogy. It was like we were here at the station getting ready to leave. And even though now we really can't see the light at the end of the tunnel, we've got a lot of bridges to cross, it feels to me like the train has left the station. And now we're kind of on our way. You can go ahead and sit down if you want to, actually. Thank you very much. So it's been great. We've raised almost $1 million for this project so far. We've got a long ways to go. Like I said, we really can't see quite the end of the tunnel. But I also want to thank Governor Parson and the legislature for creating the opportunity for this to happen, a couple years ago. It's been really great. So here we go. Everybody send in the money now.
Thank you, John, and truly it has been heartwarming to see the support that the foundation has been able to receive and get from many of you for this project. And speaking of partners, one of the obvious, very important partners in this project has been Ameren and the Missouri Central Railroad. We've been working closely with them as a department for decades, really, and certainly in the 4 years that I have been with first Missouri State Parks and now the Department of Natural Resources, we have worked very closely as well, and it's been a really good partnership. And I think having that good partner, having somebody that you can have frank discussions with, you can have sometimes tough discussions with, but then you can come together with a common purpose is important. And we've had that kind of relationship, and it's ending up in this really positive day. So I would like to introduce Mark Burke from Ameren, Missouri, to speak to you about their role in our partnership. So thank you so much for being here, Mark.
Thank you, Mike, for the kind introduction. And 2 years ago, as others have said, we stood here together to really announce an agreement between Missouri DNR and Ameren to transform the Rock Island rail line. And as others have said, it was really cold that day. So appreciate the better weather today. It's been really great working with the state on this, and we work with the state at Ameren on a lot of different things throughout the community, and this is just another one of those things. And really the idea of a 114-mile rail corridor that'll benefit communities along the way, that really fits in right with Ameren Missouri's strategy, for our area and for the communities that we serve. The Rock Island Trail will touch more than 20 towns in central Missouri, stretching from Windsor to Beaufort. I'm a lifelong Missourian. I grew up, went to school, went to college in Missouri. My family's owned a little bit of property right outside of Beaufort on the Burbus River, and for 50 years I've been driving across those railroad tracks to go fishing on the river. Had a great time, great place to grow up, and really cool. So it's going to be neat to see this transform into a biking trail. I know once it's done, one of the first things my wife will do is she'll be on me to let's go out and ride the trail, which is really cool. Building the trail will also create new economic opportunities for the region and tourism dollars for hotels, restaurants, and other attractions in those communities, just like the Katy Trail has done. Over the past several years, the Missouri Central Railway Company and our business partners, we've been working to prepare the corridor, predominantly removing vegetation, removing the steel rails, removing some of the railroad ties, and we believe it's in really good shape. I know it's got a ways to go, but we believe we're really turning over something really cool to the community and really good. With the cleanup complete, we're excited to officially transfer ownership of the Rock Island Trail to Missouri DNR and Missouri State Parks. again, the strong partnership that we've had has led us to this day. So I'd like to thank the community leaders that have been involved, the state legislators, all the property owners, the organizations who have collaborated with us on this project, including the Missouri Parks Foundation. I know working on foundations is tough. I've been on the Community College Foundation, and it's a challenge to raise money, but great job, great job. The Missouri Parks Association, the Missouri Rock Island Trail Incorporated, the Rails to Trails Conservacy, Missouri Bicycle and Pedestrian Foundation, the Missourians for Responsible Transportation, and all the supporting communities along the corridor. And I'd also like to give a shout out to the Ameren, Missouri team, to Warren Wood, and all of our team that's been involved in this. As others have said, this has been a long process, but we're really happy today to be able to turn this over to the community and for something that will benefit our state for decades to come. So we look forward to the many opportunities in the future, and just want to thank you all. I also want to thank you all for being great Ameren, Missouri customers. So thank you. Thank you, Mark. And also important and just somebody who's been working towards this and working for this. And I think today I won't divulge a conversation that on the way down, but I think our next speaker, this is a pretty good day for the next speaker. And so I'd like to introduce to you my boss, the Director of the Department of Natural Resources, Drew Button.
So, how's Rock Island State Park sound? Rock Island. So I look across the crowd and see some of the faces here, and so I want to start by saying what an honor and a privilege it is to be the person that gets to do this. This is one of the coolest parts of this job that I can ever imagine, but I look out here and I just happen to be the one sitting here at this point. You all know, and I'm just seeing everybody that's worked for years, decades to make this happen. You know, from 2015 to 2019, the department obtained the right of entry into the corridor, and we evaluated the condition, the potential costs involved in developing a trail. With the support of many of the members of the General Assembly that Mike talked about earlier, legislation was enacted and Governor Parson signed the establishment of a dedicated Rock Island Trail State Park Endowment Fund to ensure that all of the funds received or otherwise allocated to Rock Island Trail State Park were used in support of this purpose and not spent for any other reason. You know, one of the things in threading this needle was people in Missouri love their state parks, and there was the concern about, are we going to be taking away resources from the existing state park system? So we really went about this effort trying to be additive in that way, so that we're growing the pie, so that we're increasing the opportunities, increasing the quality of this system. Then on December 17th of 2019, as you all know, and as has been referenced, on a very cold day, we signed the interim trail use agreement. That agreement provided that Ameren, or the railroad, would donate the corridor, and the department would accept all of the railroad's rights, title, and interest in the Rock Island corridor, with the closing to occur on a mutually acceptable date if funding was able to be raised for the project. Fundraising efforts, as John said, Parks Association, Parks Foundation, all of the folks involved in that have raised about $1 million. And as Maggie referenced, with the 2.7 that Department of Economic Development is making available, as well as the potential for additional funding sources that we are confident are available to us, we are able to move forward today. So, the funding needs of this project are not going to end, though, as John referenced. We still need the involvement of public and private sector partners. We need additional finances. We need additional funding to move this forward in a way that does not detract from our other 92 state parks and historic sites. As with the Katy Trail, development of the Rock Island Trail State Park will occur over a period of years. It will occur in phases. We are now moving into the next phase, albeit an exciting one. We're going to need your support. We're going to need participation of everyone to make this a reality. So one of the things that Governor Parson and I talked about when we were talking about my accepting this position was our shared view that our job is to make Missouri communities better and to improve the quality of life of Missourians. To me, this opportunity to provide an additional tourism and economic development resource for all of the communities in a rural part of the area, there's no better example of how we can do that in my mind. Very much appreciate the governor's support on this project and others to accomplish those purposes. You know, the governor's focuses have been infrastructure and workforce development. This is an example of that infrastructure and doing that in a way that's going to make our rural communities stronger. So very, very much an honor to be here today with you and to be introducing the 57th governor and a big supporter of this project, Governor Mike Parson. Governor Parson.
Good morning, everyone. Merry Christmas to start off with. Man, what a joyous time of the year. A lot of celebration. Maggie said celebration there. I just always like coming to Eldon. I've been up here several times. I think of the school system you have here that I've been over there, the workforce development piece. The kids that are over here, I'm old enough to call you kids, but I know you're young adults. But I talked to them this morning. I said, hey, what are you going to play? So well, if you'd got here a little early, you could have heard us play. So they're always honest. So I like that part about them and everything. But I made a deal with them. I said, now, listen, I said, there's a lot of media out here today. So if they start asking me tough questions, you guys bring the volume up a little bit, okay? So they said they would help me with that on that. So it's good. It's great to see everybody here today. I think of Eldon, Missouri, just an example of a community of who we are in this state. Just good, everyday, honest people trying to do things better. And I can't imagine a better place to kick this off than this community and be here today to be part of that celebration. I want to thank the representatives and the senators. I know they're all here, have played a big role in this, and will continue to play a big role in it because we're far from being done. So there's a lot of work for us to do with the commitment that we're going to make and the commitment I'm going to make to that. When John was up here speaking, I remember when I was lieutenant governor, and that seems like an eternity ago, but anyhow, when I was lieutenant governor, they come in the office and they talked about the Rock Island Trail. And I looked at them and I thought, you guys need how much money? You're going to do what to try to get this done? And I thought, well, I'm great. I'm all for you. And if I was governor, I would help you any way I could. So always be careful what you say when people come in the office. Because here I stand today, so now I got to make that commitment to them, which I'm very proud to do on that. And I want to thank Mike for leading this today, for what he does for Mike Sutherland, for the department, this deputy director. Drew, so proud of you. Missouri boy at heart, and when he shared that conversation with you when I appointed him a director, it is important to me that people live in this state and understand how important the quality of life is. And we're not there as a bureaucracy to create problems. We should be there every day to help people to make this place better. And that's what the vision I have, me and the First Lady both, every day I go to work. And frankly, I tell a lot of people all the time, it's never about me and her anymore. We absolutely live the American dream. We really have, to come from where I came from, to be here, stand in front of you today. But I do care about your kids, my kids, and my grandkids to make sure they have opportunities. This is why the Rock Island Trail is going to be so important. Because there's going to be kids going down there, there's going to be families going down that trail that none of us will ever know, but will be part of making Missouri a better place for a lot of people. I also want to thank David Kelly. David's probably, I don't know anybody that knows any more about state parks than he does. He's just kind of a walking encyclopedia, if there is such a thing anymore in today's times. But anyhow, if there was, you'd be there on that. And I want to thank everybody that's been involved and try to really sell this project, because these things are hard to do. These things just don't happen, you know. You've got to stay with the grind, and it always takes a long time to get it to where it is today. So I really believe the Rock Island Trail, the state park, will make a great addition to our state and complement our Katy Trail park system on that. This trail marks the second trail system in our state that originated from a railway, and is a great accomplishment opportunity for Missouri's tourism industry, which I had the opportunity to head when I was lieutenant governor. I'm going to be talking about numbers a little bit, but I will tell you, I'm also a governor of a businessman. I want to be able to see how is this really going to impact the state financially if we're going to invest a large sum of taxpayer money, which we plan to do, but we want to make sure what's the benefits of that. So there won't be a test on this afterwards, but just kind of pay attention a little bit to the numbers, because I think they're important for you to understand. So in 2020, the Katy Trail recorded more than 500,000 visitors from Missouri and surrounding states across the nation and other countries. Much like the Katy Trail, we hope this new trail will support tourism and small business expansion. Hundreds of businesses along the Katy Trail provide a variety of tourism-related services, from wineries, restaurants, shops, to bed and breakfast inns, hotels, and campgrounds. Trails like these have supported tourism development, and many small businesses depend on them for ongoing streams for customers. In the past, the Katy Trail generated nearly $18.5 million a year in economic impact to the state, and supported 367 jobs with a payroll of $5.1 million. The overall economic impact to the local trail communities from visitor spending was projected at $8.2 million. We expect the development of the Rock Island Trail to have similar impacts on both the economy, tourism, and recreation in our state. Missouri tourism industry is strong, and projects like this will only help it grow stronger. In 2020 alone, Missouri's tourism industry, keep in mind what we've been through for the last 20 months, as you all know, and I don't have to tell you, you know, you've lived it like I have. But in 2020 alone, we attracted 36.3 million people to Missouri, generated $12.6 billion in taxable sales, had a $14.5 billion economic impact, contributed nearly $480 million to state revenues, welcomed more than 312,000 people to our welcome centers, and employed nearly 280,000 Missourians. That's what tourism does for your communities, and we can build on that. And if there's ever a time, Eldon, and so many people besides Eldon is going to have to play a part in this, if you think of what we've been through the last 20 months, the one thing we have learned in Missouri that we always had, but maybe we just learned a little better, how blessed we are to have the outdoor resources that we have. And the good side of it, we've all experienced a little more of that than what we probably normally did with the hustle bustle of our lives, and we all had to slow down a little bit, spend a little more time with the family, went out and seen nature at its best, and we've seen the beauty of the state of Missouri. That's why the Rock Island Trail is so important, for other people to be able to see that and experience it. And for Eldon, we're here today in Eldon to kick this off, but think what this trail is going to do for the entire state of Missouri. For the people I just told you, the numbers that come in there. So, yes, if we have to invest millions of dollars in this project from the state level, I believe, with the help of the legislators, we're going to make that investment. Whatever it takes to get that done, to make this a complete project. It'll be done, I'm sure, in phases, but you got to do phase one before you can ever get to phase two. So today, I think that's what our focus is to find the most expensive parts of this and figure out how do we fix it. But to say without, in closing, you know something I learned as governor too? When you say in closing, 85% of the people listen to you. So closing, In closing, we are going to have a tremendous opportunity, all of us have, to change the needle in the state of Missouri to make it better, as I said in the beginning of this. And it takes hard work, it takes dedicated people, it takes a lot of people wearing these t-shirts today, it takes a lot of people raising money. But I'm telling you, this project is on the right track. We're going to be able to help support it financially from the state revenues by working together and continue to get this done. So it's a great day for Missouri. It is a great day to celebrate, as Maggie said when she was up here with economic development. This is about a celebration, and it's a good time. We need this. All of us need it. And it is great to be here today to be part of this celebration with you. It is an honor and privilege to be the 57th governor of the great state of Missouri. God bless you, God bless Missouri, and God bless the United States of America. Thank you all very much for having me.
Now, if I can have Mark and Drew and Governor Parson and John Riddick, do you want to come up? And Maggie? And as we come together and sign. Kind of the official signing, and then once we have the official signing, that will conclude our ceremony.
Oh, that's okay. That's good. I'll tell your boss you signed it for me.
Official. Thank you. So thank you all for coming. We'll all be available. If you have questions, the speakers will be available. And also a reminder, if you want to go visit the Eldon Depot and